The sky above Delta 6 was quiet. Too quiet. The planet had no cities, no life, and no reason for visitors. It was just a cold research post, run by a small human crew. They spent their days collecting samples and tracking dust storms. Then, one day, the silence broke. A blinding light cut across the sky. A ship, long and silver, fell through the clouds like a broken star. It hit the surface hard, crashing into the rocky desert just outside the research zone. The alarms rang. Red lights flashed. The humans rushed to the crash site. The ship was alien. Not one they had seen before. The hull was cracked open, and smoke poured out. The air smelled of burned metal and something strange. Something sweet. Inside, they found only one survivor. She was young. Female. Thin, with glowing purple skin and white eyes that shimmered like crystal. Her long limbs were shaking, her body covered in bruises. One leg was bent badly. She didn't speak. She only stared, frozen with fear. They brought her to the outpost's med bay. Machines surrounded her. Lights blinked. Scanners whirred. And she screamed. She thrashed on the table, knocking over tools. Her breathing grew fast and sharp. The humans backed away. They didn't understand what was wrong. That's when Dr. Aaron Cole stepped in. Aaron was different from the others. He wasn't a soldier or a pilot. He was a xenobiologist. He studied alien life, but more than that, he studied how aliens felt. He believed in trust before technology. He turned off the machines. Every single one. The room went silent again. He sat down slowly, not too close. Just enough so she could see his face. "My name is Aaron," he said in a soft voice. "You're safe here." The alien girl stared at him. Her eyes blinked once. Then again. Slowly, she lowered her hands. Aaron noticed the bruises on her legs. Her skin was swollen, discolored. She couldn't move them. "You can't walk," he said gently. "You're hurt." She didn't reply, but her face showed pain. "We have machines that can help," he continued. "But I know they scare you." She turned her head slightly, just enough to show she was listening. Aaron took a breath. "Would you let me try something else? No machines. No scanners. Just hands." Her eyes narrowed. The idea confused her. Varelians did not allow physical touch. Not even among their own kind. But something in Aaron's voice felt different. It didn't feel like a demand. It felt like a question. Like a choice. She gave a small nod. Aaron moved closer, slowly and carefully. He knelt beside the bed. His hands hovered above her injured leg. He looked at her again. She nodded once more. Then he touched her. His fingers were warm. Gentle. They pressed into the swollen muscle just below her knee. He moved slowly, watching her face for any sign of pain. She gasped. But not in fear. Not in pain. It was something else. She had never felt a sensation like this before. The pressure of another being's hand. The careful motion. The heat from his skin. Her people had removed touch from their culture generations ago. They believed emotion was dangerous. Physical contact led to weakness, distraction, chaos. But now, in this quiet room, on a cold planet far from home, she felt something stir inside her. Aaron kept working. His hands moved with skill, pressing and releasing the right spots. Blood flowed better. Tension eased. She began to breathe more slowly. Her eyes stayed locked on his face. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't looking for thanks. He was just focused. Present. She whispered something. A word in her own language. Aaron didn't understand it. But the tone was soft. Curious. "What did you say?" he asked gently. She looked away, almost shy. "Warm," she said in broken English. Aaron smiled now. "I'm glad." The moment stretched. Quiet, but full of feeling. The camera would show his hands continuing to move with care. Her eyes closing slowly, not from pain or fear, but peace. For the first time since the crash, she felt safe. And something deeper was happening. Her species didn't understand human kindness. They had never known this kind of care. But now one act, one touch, one human. It changed everything. The next morning, the sky over Delta 6 was quiet again. Inside the outpost, Aaron sat by the alien girl's bedside. He had stayed the whole night. Not because he had to, but because something inside him told him to stay. She was awake now. She hadn't said much, but she was watching him closely. Her name, he learned, was Silari. She spoke slowly. Her English was broken, but her eyes were full of questions. Aaron noticed something strange. Her leg had begun to heal faster than expected. The bruises were fading. The muscle swelling was going down. He hadn't used any tech. Only his hands. And yet, her body was reacting. More than that, changing. Aaron spoke softly. Silari, how do you feel today? She blinked. Her voice was low. Different. Strange. He nodded. Pain? She shook her head. No pain. But something inside. New. She looked down at her leg. Then, slowly, she reached out her hand. Not to take anything, but to touch his hand. Her fingers brushed his skin. Just for a second. Then she pulled away. Aaron didn't speak. He didn't need to. That one moment said more than words. Varelians did not touch. They lived by logic. By silence. By rules passed down for generations. Touch was forbidden. Emotion was weakness. But Silari had felt something during the massage. Not just relief. Not just safety. She had felt connection. And now, she wanted to feel it again. She asked a question. Her voice shook a little. Why do humans touch? Aaron thought about it. Because we care, he said. Because it's how we show others they're not alone. She looked confused. Not alone? He smiled. Yes. Not alone in pain. Not alone in fear. Not alone in the universe. Silari turned her head. For a moment, she looked far away. As if she was trying to remember something from long ago. My people forgot, she said quietly. Forgot what? She looked at him. Touch. Feeling. Long time ago. We had it. Then we removed it. Too dangerous. Aaron leaned closer. But you miss it. She didn't answer. But a tear formed at the corner of her eye. It slid down her cheek. She wiped it quickly, as if ashamed. What is this? She whispered. Aaron's voice was calm. It's a tear. She looked at him. Why does my body cry? Because your heart is waking up. The room was quiet again. But not empty. There was warmth in the air now. Like something new had entered and refused to leave. That evening, Aaron brought her water and food. She touched the cup carefully, still learning how to use her fingers gently. Can I? She paused, searching for words. Yes? He asked. Can you do the thing again? He raised an eyebrow. The massage? She nodded. Aaron moved to her side. He waited for her permission. She nodded again. This time, she placed her hand on his wrist. Not to stop him, but to feel him. As his fingers pressed into her calf, Silari closed her eyes. She didn't gasp this time. She didn't flinch. She smiled. A real, soft smile. The first smile of her life. Her voice was quiet, but clear. When you touch me, my mind changes. Like colors I never saw before. Aaron nodded slowly. That's called emotion. It's part of being alive. She looked at him. Do humans always feel this much? He laughed gently. Yes. It's not always easy. But it's worth it. Silari looked down at her hands. I don't want to forget this. You won't. But my people, they won't accept it. Aaron placed a hand over hers. Maybe it's time they remembered. Maybe you're the first. She looked at him for a long time. There was silence. but not the cold silence of fear. It was a calm pause. A shared moment between two beings from two different worlds. That night, as she slept, Silari began to dream. Varelians did not dream. But now, she saw visions in her sleep. Of light. Of music. Of stars dancing. And a hand holding hers. The night on Delta 6 was quiet. Silari slept in her room, wrapped in a soft human blanket. Her breathing was steady. Her face was calm. But inside her mind, something was happening. She was dreaming again. Varelians did not dream. Their minds were trained to stay silent, focused, and empty. But now, Silari's thoughts were full of color and sound. She saw a place she had never seen before. Tall trees, deep blue skies, and a waterfall flowing over glowing rocks. In the dream, she stood barefoot. And someone was beside her. A human. Aaron. They weren't speaking. Just standing close, watching the stars fall across the sky. It felt real. It felt warm. It felt like hope. She woke up gasping. Her skin was hot. Her heart was racing. Something inside her had changed again. Aaron heard the sound from the next room. He rushed in. "Are you all right?" She nodded slowly, then looked at him. "I saw a dream." He sat beside her. "What was in it?" "Stars. Water. You." He blinked. "Me?" She nodded. "I felt peace. Like I belong." Aaron didn't speak right away. He just held her gaze. Then Silari added something that made the air in the room go still. "It was not just a dream. It was a memory. But not mine." Aaron leaned closer. "What do you mean?" She touched her head gently. "Your touch. The massage. I think it opened something in me." "A memory?" "Yes. But it came from you." Aaron looked shocked. "From me?" She nodded again. "When you touched me, something entered. Not just heat. Not just feeling. Memory. Your memory." Aaron sat back. He was quiet for a moment. "If that's true," he said, "then maybe there's a connection we don't understand yet." Silari stood up slowly. Her leg was stronger now. She could walk short steps. "I want to understand," she said. "I want to know what else was hidden." Aaron helped her to a nearby seat. He tapped into the data core from her crashed ship. It had been sealed, but he had slowly begun unlocking parts of it. Together, they searched the logs. What they found changed everything. The Varelian ship had not been on a science mission. It was a control mission. Their orders were clear: observe human outposts. Avoid contact. Do not allow emotional contamination. Aaron read the line out loud. "Emotional contamination?" Silari looked down. "My people fear what you are." "Why?" Aaron asked. "Because you feel too much. You live with heart, not only mind. That makes you dangerous." He nodded slowly. "They think emotions are weakness." "Yes," she said. "But now I know they are wrong." Her hands shook. She looked at the floor. "I was never meant to survive. My commander, he sent no distress signal. He left me to die." Aaron stood. His eyes were sharp now. "There may be more we're not seeing." He returned to the data logs and unlocked another file. This one was sealed with high security. Silari placed her hand on the scanner. It recognized her as crew. The file opened. Inside was a video. A recording from before the crash. In it, her commander stood beside a dark screen. On the screen was a map of Earth. Next to it, a warning. Human contact has triggered emotional instability in previous Varelian scouts. Erase all exposed individuals. End communication. Silari's face went pale. "They were trying to erase me." Aaron's voice was calm, but strong. "You're not going anywhere. Not while I'm here." She looked at him, eyes wide. "I'm not afraid," she said softly. He moved closer. "I'm with you." They sat together in silence for a moment. Then Silari whispered something in her own language. The translation appeared on Aaron's screen. First light returns to the heart. What does that mean? He asked. She smiled faintly. It's an old phrase. From when my people still believed in love. Aaron nodded. Then maybe you're the one to bring it back. That night, Silari dreamed again. But this time, it wasn't just her dream. Aaron did too. And in both their minds, they saw the same thing. Each other. For the first time in her life, Silari felt free. She walked through the metal halls of the outpost with slow, careful steps. Her legs, once swollen and broken, were nearly healed. But something deeper had changed. Her mind. Her soul. She had tasted emotion. And she did not want to go back. Aaron walked beside her. Always close, but never forcing. He answered her questions, shared human music, and taught her how to smile without fear. They were two different beings. But when they spoke, it felt like one voice. When they sat together, it felt like home. But peace is never safe for long. Late that night, something moved outside the outpost. The security system caught the signal first. A life form, large, quiet, and fast, moving through the dust. Aaron checked the monitor. His heart sank. It's Virelian. He turned to Silari. Are there others? She nodded slowly. Her voice dropped. My commander. If he lived, he'll come for me. Aaron's jaw tightened. Then we'll be ready. But Silari shook her head. You don't understand. He is not here to talk. He's here to erase. She told him the truth. Virelian commanders are trained to erase anything that threatens their cultural silence. Emotion is seen as infection. And she, Silari, was now a living threat. A memory of what they buried long ago. And someone had been watching her for days. That night the lights flickered. The air vents hissed. Then the alarm screamed. Aaron grabbed his emergency pack and pulled Silari behind him. The door exploded inward. And there he stood. Tall. Armored. Eyes cold as ice. Her commander. He walked forward slowly, his voice calm, but full of poison. You were supposed to die. Silari stood in front of Aaron. I lived. The commander's voice sharpened. You are infected. You touched a human. You let his thoughts inside your mind. She nodded. Yes. And for the first time, I am awake. The commander's hand reached toward a hidden weapon on his belt. Aaron stepped forward. You don't have to do this. But the commander didn't even look at him. You are nothing, he said to Aaron. Just noise. Just heat. Just weakness. Silari raised her voice. No. He is what we lost. He is what we need. For a moment, the commander froze. Then he stepped back. He did not expect resistance. He did not expect her to choose a human. He turned to leave. But before he walked out, he gave one final warning. You have one cycle to return. After that, we send hunters. Your name will be erased. Your memory burned. Then he vanished into the night. The door closed behind him. Silari fell into the chair, shaking. Aaron knelt beside her. Are you okay? She looked at him. Her eyes were full of something new. Fury. Fear. And love. I will not go back, she whispered. Even if they erase me. Aaron touched her hand. Then we fight. Together. Silari held his fingers tight. I was trained never to feel. Never to bond. But now. She paused. I want to stay. I want to feel more. Even if it hurts. Aaron smiled. Then this is only the beginning. That night they sat on the roof of the outpost, under the stars. Silari rested her head on Aaron's shoulder. And for the first time in Virelian history, a soldier chose love over silence. But far in the distance, in the cold black of space, a message had already been sent. The hunters were coming. The wind outside the outpost had changed. It no longer moved like air. It whispered like breath. Like something was waiting. Inside, Silari stood in front of a mirror. She stared at her reflection. Her body was still Varelian. Her skin still shimmered purple. Her hair floated slightly, as if the air around her still remembered space. But something was different. Her heart. It beat louder now. Faster. It had never done that before. Varelians evolved with slow, quiet hearts. Measured. Cold. Calm. But since Aaron touched her, her heartbeat had changed. It rushed in waves. It rose when he was near. It trembled when he spoke. Now it thudded like thunder. She pressed a hand to her chest. "What is this?" she asked quietly. Aaron stood at the door, watching her. "It's called emotion," he said gently. "It lives in the chest. But it comes from everywhere." She turned toward him, her eyes wide. "It hurts." He stepped closer. "Sometimes it does. But it also gives life more meaning." She sat down on the edge of her bed. "I don't know who I am anymore." Aaron knelt beside her. "You're becoming something new." She looked up, eyes filled with fear. "But what if I lose what I was?" He shook his head. "You're not losing. You're expanding." She reached for his hand. He gave it without hesitation. "When you first touched me," she said, "I thought you were healing my leg." He nodded. "But now," she continued, "I think you were healing something deeper." Aaron squeezed her fingers gently. "You were never broken. You were just hidden." She took a long breath. "My people trained us to forget. They told us emotion is fire. They said it burns logic. That it destroys order." Aaron looked into her eyes. "They were wrong." Silari stood. She walked to the center of the room and opened a small panel. Inside it, a piece of Varelian text still glowed. She touched it, and ancient symbols lit up. "It's from our oldest archives," she said. "Hidden knowledge. Forbidden." Aaron watched in silence. She pressed a command. A hologram appeared. A figure. A Varelian female, older, with eyes like hers. The voice echoed through the room. "In the beginning we touched. We sang. We cried. But war punished us. We chose silence. We gave up our hearts to survive." Aaron listened carefully. Silari's voice was calm now. "We didn't evolve away from emotions. We erased them." She turned to Aaron. "But they didn't die. They waited." He stepped forward. "And now they've returned. In you." Silari nodded. "I think that's why I lived. Not by accident. But for this moment." She placed her hand on his chest. Aaron's heart was steady. She leaned close, listening to its rhythm. "Strong," she whispered. "Because of you," he replied. They stood there for a long time. Just silence. Just heartbeats. No machines. No weapons. No lies. Just truth. That night, they sat together in the observatory. Stars filled the sky. Silari played human music on the speakers. Soft piano. Slow strings. She closed her eyes. "This sound," she said, "makes my chest feel heavy. But it's beautiful." Aaron nodded. "That's how love feels sometimes." She opened her eyes slowly. "Is that what this is?" He didn't answer right away. Instead, he placed his forehead gently against hers. Their skin touched. No fear. No confusion. Just warmth. "Yes," he said. "I think it is." Far above the planet, a ship moved through the black. Dark. Silent. Watching. The hunters had arrived. But inside the outpost, two hearts now beat in time. And the silence of Delta 6 had been broken forever. The sky above Delta 6 began to glow with strange lights. Red. Then silver. Then dark. From orbit, the Varelian hunter ship entered silent position above the planet. No signals. No greetings. Just one goal. Erase the infected. Inside the human outpost, Silari stood at the window, watching the sky. Her body was still. But her mind raced. She had heard the transmission. One Varelian sentence. Target locked. Prepare for recovery or elimination. Aaron stood beside her, hands clenched. They're coming for you. She didn't blink. I know. He turned to her. We can run. We can hide in the caves. There are zones the Varelians won't detect. But Silari shook her head. I'm tired of hiding. She looked up at the stars. All my life, I was told what to feel. What to silence. What to fear. Her eyes filled with light. But now I've touched something real. I've felt peace. Joy. Even pain. She turned to Aaron. And I've felt love. Aaron took a step closer. I don't want to lose you. She smiled, just a little. You gave me something I never had. Not with machines. Not with training. With your voice. With your hands. He looked down. You gave something back too. Silari reached into her satchel. She pulled out a small Varelian data crystal. This has everything, she said. History. Proof. The recordings. The erased truth. Aaron took it, his hands shaking. You're going to share this? She nodded. I have to. He looked at her. They'll brand you a traitor. I already am, she replied. Suddenly, the outpost lights flickered. A deep hum filled the floor. A ship was landing outside. The hunters were here. Silari walked to the comms terminal. She opened a direct broadcast channel. Not encrypted. Not hidden. She spoke clearly, her voice echoing through every frequency. My name is Silari. I was Varelian. But I have changed. I have remembered what we lost. I have felt what we were told to fear. She paused, then continued. Humanity is not a threat. They are a mirror. They show us what we buried. She looked at Aaron. And this human saved me not with weapons, but with kindness. With care. With touch. Aaron stepped beside her. She added one last line. I choose to stay. I choose this heart. I choose this life. Then she ended the broadcast. Silence. No reply. Just the sound of engines outside. Silari turned to Aaron. If they take me, don't follow. He held her hand. I won't let them. The door to the outpost blew open. 3 Varelians entered. All in black armor. No words. Just orders. The leader raised a hand. Step away from the human. Silari stood tall. No. They paused. Step away or be erased. I choose him, she said calmly. I choose emotion. I choose truth. For a moment, no one moved. Then, behind the hunters, a voice came from the open channel. A new voice. Stand down. Another Varelian appeared on the screen. An elder. A historian. One who had received the message Silari sent. Let her go. She is not alone. The hunters froze. Orders had changed. Silari and Aaron watched as the soldiers lowered their arms and stepped back. Then, slowly, without a word, they walked out into the night. Gone. Silence returned. But this silence was not fear. It was peace. Silari turned to Aaron. Her eyes were wet with tears. They listened. He smiled. You changed something. She touched his face. We changed it. That night, they sat under the open sky. No roof. No barriers. Just stars. And for the first time, Silari didn't feel like a visitor. She felt like home. The stars above Delta 6 were brighter than ever. Silari stood outside the outpost, her face lifted toward the sky. Wind moved through her white hair. Her body was still. But her heart was alive. Behind her, Aaron watched in silence. He didn't speak. He didn't move. He knew something was coming. In the distance, a small shuttle approached. Not a hunter ship. Not military. A peaceful craft. One passenger. An elder Varelian. Tall, ancient, and unarmed. The shuttle landed softly. The elder stepped down and approached Silari slowly. She did not bow. She did not retreat. She stood tall. I heard your message, the elder said. The council heard it too. Silari nodded. I told the truth. The elder looked at her carefully. You broke the rules. You chose feeling over silence. Yes, she replied. And I won't go back. The elder looked past her to Aaron. You bonded with a human. I loved him, she said. The elder did not flinch. And do you still? Silari turned. She met Aaron's eyes. Yes. With every part of me. The elder stepped forward. Your kind will not understand you. Not yet. Many will fear what you've become. I know. They may call you broken. I'm not. Then what are you? The elder asked. Silari looked toward the stars. I am the first of my kind. She looked down at her hands. I was born Varelian. But I have felt love. I have chosen my own path. That makes me something new. The elder was quiet. Then, after a long moment, he stepped back. We won't stop you. He held out a small crystal. This contains your status. It is your choice. You may return, or not. She took it. Then she gave it back. My place is here. The elder nodded. He turned without a word and returned to the shuttle. As the engines lit, the shuttle rose slowly into the air. Then it vanished into the sky. Aaron stepped beside her. Are you sure? He asked. Silari smiled. Yes. He took her hand. What now? She looked at the empty land around them. The silent rocks. The open stars. We build something new, she said. Not human. Not Varelian. Something better. Together, they walked back into the outpost. Weeks passed. Then months. They sent a signal into the stars. Not a warning. Not a defense. An invitation. A message. We remember what was lost. You can remember too. And one by one, responses came. From young Varelians. From explorers. From forgotten places. Stories of touch. Of warmth. Of choice. And it all began with a single moment. A single crash. A single leg massage. And a single human who dared to care.